Hey everyone, good morning and a warm welcome from beautiful autumn Berlin, more or less. We are very excited to welcome you one last time to our third and last Black Friday Cyber Monday webinar series about a customer very, very close to our hearts. Unfortunately, they couldn't join in person, but we still have a special guest, which you already can see, who is ready to give us all the insights. There's nothing getting lost on the way. And as most of you likely know by now, the series is focusing on how you can make the most out of your Black Friday season via WhatsApp. First things first, my name is Luisa and I'm part of the success team at Charles. In our customer success team, everything goes beyond ensuring our clients are technically supported and enabled, but we also provide the creativity and consultancy that WhatsApp marketing requires and also deserves. With me today, I'm really happy to have a special guest, Thomas from Chatmarks, who works with Blackroll and will tell us how they use WhatsApp to keep Blackroll's customer experience easy and accessible. It's so nice to see you. Would you like to give us a little intro?
Yeah, hey Luisa, of course. So I'm totally happy to be here as well. Thank you for the invitation. So my name is Thomas and I'm one of the founders of the first and leading WhatsApp marketing agency. So we started over 2 years now, actually, so time flies. And we have been supporting leading e-commerce brands in first place like Blackroll, but also like Jack Wolfskin, like Purelay on their way to master this new and exciting marketing channel, WhatsApp. And in this time, we generated millions in sales for various clients, created hundreds of newsletters and set up super complex journeys. And of course, all of this inside of Charles, as we are an exclusive partner agency of yours since then one. And I'm very happy to share our knowledge with you, with the audience today. But as you said, unfortunately, I'm your only guest today. And speaking of Blackroll, they are founded over 10 years ago already and see themselves as something like a health style company. And they are very dedicated to supporting every lifestyle and life situation with simple and easy to use intuitive products and services.
Why are we here? So let's talk about why. We all know by now that Black Friday is around the corner, and maybe some of you have already started collecting new leads or are even sending out pre-Black Friday campaigns or early bird notifications. In the last two webinars, we've tackled very important phases, the planning and the converting. My colleagues, Carolina and Marte, got to give you insights on how to best prepare for Black Friday and Cyber Monday using WhatsApp as a marketing tool to create awareness for your brand and generate qualitative leads. In the last webinar, Marte and Jana from FashionNet talked about how to connect with these leads through different campaigning strategies and to successfully convert them. Now, it's time for us to look at the last step, which is how to retain those customers, which you generated in the planning and converted in the converting phase, and then create sustainable retention and not just for a month or two. So how we do it, retaining customers after Black Friday should be like the third main pillar in your Black Friday Cyber Monday strategy, because let's be honest, your newly acquired customers shouldn't go to waste just because they bought once. And generally speaking, your already existing customers who also purchase from you on Black Friday should never be neglected either. I'm a big fan of retention. I worked in retention for nearly, I feel like, all my life until now. So it's very close to my heart. This all leads us to creating positive touch points, not only before, not only during, but also after your strategy for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And it also takes us to how Blackroll manages successful customer retention every year with WhatsApp. First of all, retaining customers is cool. I also said that it's very cost efficient. Like Black Week is not just beneficial, but it's cool. And you really want to think about how to acquire new customers and that it's expensive from marketing efforts. But when we focus on those things, like, and also who we are already engaging with, we can maximize our return on investment. So these are customers who already love your brand, so keep them loyal. And that honestly requires less cost overall. Second of all, brand advocacy, like loyal customers don't just stick around, they become your brand advocates. They are really powerful. You know how you talk to your best friend or your families about a product that you really love. This is something we use and we really like to use. And this is essentially how their loyalty converts into a brand's voice in the market. And finally, customer insights are so important. Loyal customers, customers you already built a relationship with, offer a wealth of valuable insights. So the more we know about their preferences and behaviors, the stronger our connection with them becomes. And also we can kind of see how newly acquired customers would react to certain campaigning. So customer retention isn't just like smart strategy, but it's an opportunity for you to build long-lasting relationships, and especially those relationships drive growth and actionable insights. So that's already cool. But new customers, which you're likely collecting right now for Black Friday, retaining those is even cooler. So first of all, we again have cost efficiency and return of invest. So when we start building loyalty from day one, so first purchase, first conversion, we're setting ourselves for like higher returns right from the start. By retaining new customers, we're essentially making the most of every acquisition euro or dollar. We're maximizing the ROI from the beginning, basically. Then once again, brand advocacy. So new customers can become super enthusiastic advocates when we impress them early. So the fresher the experience, the more likely they are to spread the word. And lastly, new customers bring also fresh perspectives. So they offer insights to current trends and expectation, which helps you to really stay relevant. And by actively listening to their feedback, you can evolve and improve continuously. So in short, retaining new customers means maximizing your initial investment, expanding your reach, and also gaining up-to-date insights to fuel ongoing growth. And Thomas will tell you more about how to do it.
Yes, that's a very cool case that I wanted to show you here, to generate new subscribers and directly create a connection to your brand. So as you can see here, with Blackroll, we created like a Euro Cup game. It's actually like a prediction game during the European Championship this year. So what we did was, for each match of the German national team, we gave users the opportunity to say or to give a bet how much extra time or how long the extra time after the 90 minutes will be. So we did not take a bet or prediction on the result, but rather on the of the extra time at the end of the 90 minutes. So it was super interesting till the last second. And all the users with the correct answer then had the chance to win a Blackroll package with various products from Blackroll, as you can see on the left side inside the ad. And the ads are actually the way we promoted this campaign. So we started working with this new click-to-chat ads or click-to-WhatsApp ads that some of you might already tested. And these ads took the users directly from, for example, Instagram or Facebook to the chat with the brand, where they could simply sign up for the WhatsApp newsletter and take part in this betting game. And as you can see in the middle, the whole flow was actually an automation in WhatsApp, which made it super easy for the customer to participate because they don't have to give in some informations or sign in anywhere. But also for us as well, because we don't have to put a widget or something on a landing page and so on. And we're super flexible to create everything in charts and WhatsApp actually. And all the users that at the end of this 4 weeks were not lucky enough to actually win one of these Blackroll packages received at least a discount code as a little thank you at the end of the tournament for them participating. And to be honest, this was an absolute success because as you can see on the left side, we generated thousands of new subscribers, and that even way under the target cost per lead that we had in mind at the beginning of the campaign. And from there on, users had in this 4-week period of the tournament so many positive touch points that they basically fell in love with the brand, with Blackroll, and discovered the product and so on. So that leads to the result that the losers campaign actually, where the users just got a small discount code, was one of the best campaigns of the whole year for Blackroll. And as you can see, a super successful case. And why did I want to show you this? Not that all of you now have to start with betting games or something like this, but I wanted to show you how successful a campaign can be when you create real added value for your users. So many good touch points we had in this 4 weeks that led users falling in love with Blackroll, and yeah, at the end fell to led them to ordering a lot. So super helpful. And on top, as you can see, I wanted to show you again how effective click-to-chat ads can be. If you combine this format with a very good reason to sign in for new subscribers, basically, yeah, new subscribers will be generated basically overnight, or at least almost. So a super effective way and a super cool connection of attracting new subscribers and, of course, reaching revenue goals and so on. So a super successful case. And when we look at this, we see a good strategy from combining different things, and all the big topic around this campaign, but also now around this webinar is like exceeding expectations, basically. So when we talk about, for example, our campaign strategy, it's not just about creating what customers expect, like normal newsletters or something like this. It's about engaging them in ways they didn't see coming. So if you want to meet their needs and surprise them, make each experience feel special and valuable. And here are 3 points how we do it. So first of all, we try to create engaging campaigns, especially on major events like Black Week or the holiday season. You have great opportunities to go beyond the usual and try to be creative. And next up, the personalization is a super important point for this. So as you might know, this one-size-fits-all approach is no longer enough. So we need tailored promotions and personalized messaging that show customers that we truly understand them. When we personalize, we're not just reaching out, we're creating individual value. And finally, the topic exceeding expectations. It's always about giving a little bit more than what customers anticipate. Whether it's unexpected perks, something like an early access to a product, something like even a seamless, friendly service experience. That's super cool experiences for the user, especially in this new channel of WhatsApp with these possibilities that we have there. So the plan is not just running campaigns, but creating impressions that basically turn customers into loyal fans or even ambassadors. And that's the plan that we have in mind.
So that's great. So that's why we get to know your customers, or you have to get to know your customers better, basically. And how you do it is through data-driven insights. So you already saw how intense such a flow can be. That also means you can implement very fun things into it, and Thomas will show you more. So only right now for a quick overview. So data-driven insights empower you to basically improve your customer retention, which is one of the most important tools that we have. Like by harnessing data-driven insights, we can go beyond the assumptions and truly understand customers. And here's how it strengthens your strategy. So first, it enhances personalization, which Thomas already talked about. So when we continuously gather and analyze customer data, we're able to create highly personalized experiences. Every interaction, preferences, and behaviors give us insight into what each customer really wants and values. It allows us to deliver content and offers and services that feel unique and tailored to them, and also match your brand and how you really want to foster loyalty. And it keeps customers engaged, which is like one of the most relevant things here. Second, it's an agile strategy development. So data enables us to be flexible and adapt quickly. So with real-time insights, we can adjust our strategies and also campaigns to meet changing customer needs and behaviors, and also the preferences. So this agility is very, very crucial, whether you're dealing with shifts in the market or unexpected trends. You can pivot and refine your approach to stay relevant to your customers. And lastly, strengthened relationships. So data just inform about our marketing. It helps to build like real relationships to your brand. So by analyzing feedback and understanding what resonates with your customers and with your audience, they don't have to be the ones who buy from the start, as I said before, but they might do it because they follow your brand and are just waiting for the right moment. But by doing so, we can continuously improve the experience and also show them that their feedback is really valued. So that's also strengthening the trust, and it can create even longer lasting connections. Well, in short, data is our foundation for personalization, agility, and relationship building. And these are the essential elements for retaining happy and loyal customers.
Yeah, I'm totally on your side, Luisa. And it's, of course, often an argument that I have in mind when people talking about what is the real strength of WhatsApp. It's, of course, the high opening rate, and, of course, the familiar environment inside of WhatsApp. But of course, also it's a super cool tool to gain data from your customers. So, for example, here's the way we use it, or we do it for Blackroll, to get a really clear picture of each customer. We go ahead and ask 2 questions during the welcome series. And this is particularly relevant for Blackroll because they have super completely different target groups depending on the product. As I said, for example, this Blackroll has a different target group than people, or the pillow, for example. So we asked what is their problem and why they are looking for Blackroll products, and give these 3 options with them. For example, because they have pain, they're super into sports and need recovery, or they have actually sleeping issues. And depending on the answer, later on we ask more like in-depth question. So for example, where does the customer have the pain? In the back, in the leg, or something like this, to have a better idea what the real problem of the user is. And by asking these simple questions, we then later on know exactly what the customer's problems are and which products are actually relevant for them. So if we then have this information and add information about which product the users, for example, bought, how often and which campaign they clicked on, etc., we can create highly personalized messages. So that's super crucial to use the welcome series to gain data. And I think I have already a first question of all of you in mind. Before you ask, no, asking these questions is not really a reason to not sign in for the most users. So even though we ask 2 or 3 questions, then later on ask even for the email address, we have sign-in rates of over 90% because it's so easy for the user to answer these questions by simply clicking this small buttons directly in the chat. And on top, it's obviously a win-win situation for both, for us and the customer as well, because the user knows now that he or she will only receive really relevant information in the future and will not receive spam. So they're totally open to answer these questions.
Honestly, I have to share with you, Thomas, I always loved quizzes and answering questions. I always did it in those magazines for kids. So that's the perfect way to get all data you want from me personally. So great job.
Good to know.
Well, let's get to the next step then. How you really convince me also to fill out the quiz, or just to give my data out and my interests. So send relevant content basically. So sending out relevant content is one of the strongest way to keep customers engaged and loyal, because it needs to be, well, also high quality at one point. But when customers' content or when our content speaks directly to customers' interests and needs, it shows that we're really listening. That's one of the points I talked about earlier, and that we're consistent. So let's see. There are 3 key reasons why you should send out relevant content and not just anything. First is the consistent messaging. So relevant content across all channels, not only WhatsApp, but especially email, social media, and also customer service, which could be a part of your business, reinforces brand identity. So if you have a consistent messaging through all of your channels, you basically enable the customer to know what they can expect from your brand. And that's also the way they're most likely to trust you and stick with you. Then second, to have a better customer experience, also tailored and valuable content that resonates with customers doesn't just keep them interested, it enhances their overall experience. Like when customers see content that aligns with their preferences and interests, it makes them feel understood and valued, and also drives satisfaction at one point when engaging with you. And then we have the valuable insights. I talk about them now a lot, but still, each customer interaction offers insights that helps us also to create even more relevant content. And by analyzing how customers engage with you and what concerns they express, you can shape your content to address their specific needs at some point and also their preferences. And this keeps you very responsive and ensures that your content remains meaningful to them. So in summary, relevant content isn't just about sharing information, it's about building trust and improving your customer experience at one point. And Thomas has some great examples how Chatmarks and Blackroll managed to do so.
Yeah, to keep things a little bit practical, next up, I want to show you 3 easy tricks that you can start using tomorrow to send more relevant messages. And of course, if you talk about relevant messages or relevance overall, we have to talk about segmentation and segment your audience. So in my experience, actually, segmentation is really a key, not just to have relevant messages, but also to have super profitable campaigns, especially as your subscriber base grows from day to day. You want to keep the segments very highly relevant to only reach out to the people who are interested in your messages or in the specific message. And here you can finally use all the information that you have from a user. So for example, the information that we got from the user during the welcome series. So in this example, it was about like a sale for the blanket. We obviously are super interested in reaching out to users that has said that they have sleeping issues. So the blankets may be a solution for that problem. But as you can see, it does not end there. We, of course, also use some information about other products that the user already bought. So, for example, of course, we did not want to send the campaign to users that already had the blanket, obviously, but also we look how does the engagement look like from the user in the last few days, or how many product users have already bought in total. Why? Because this product was mainly an expert product, so not for the new customers maybe, but more for users that are already familiar with the world of Blackroll, with the products from Blackroll, and know how they work. So the sale and the blanket was perfect for them. And through the segmentation, we then created a really powerful target group that had responded very positively to the campaign, because our offer was the perfect fit for this target group, because we used so many segmentations. And I think a lot of you have already in mind, hey, my audience may be too small to use all these segments or all these filters and rules, or maybe you don't have like a shop integration with charts and can't use rules like what the people already bought from you. One thing I totally want to give you is the rule that's called like has click campaign at least once over all time, or something like this. And this makes a big difference, because then you're only reaching out to people that are engaging with your content and clicking on your campaigns and so on. And oftentimes we see an uplift in the profitability of around 50% simply because using this rule. And I totally would recommend using this rule for like smaller launches of new products, or a small sale or something like this, where you just want to reach out to users that are very interested in your products. And of course, you have a lot of users that did not engage till now with your content. Then this is the perfect target group for then bigger sales like the Black Week, where you want to reach out to everyone to re-engage the user with your biggest sales and your biggest offers. So totally a good rule that you have to keep in mind and use in the future. Next up, perfect. One of my favorite cases this year. I think it's like a gold nugget, like we say in the marketing bubble. So the goal was to utilize the 24-hour conversation window originally as good as possible, because it's just smart to use the 24-hour conversation window when we open it at one point. And I know there are some pricing changes coming, but you can still use this idea. So to look at Blackroll, we saw that Blackroll opened a conversation window every time they send out the pass to send message, probably the same for a lot of you guys in the audience. And to utilize this open conversation window more effectively, we then thought about, hey, why don't we send more additional information about the pillow, for example, when the user bought the pillow? And we then create this flow where we give information about how the customer should position his or her pillow depending on how he or she normally sleeps. So as you can see, maybe on the right side, we build a little configurator that later on recommends how the perfect position would be, how you should lay your pillow in your bed. And on top of that, we gave some informations about the smell of the pillow, because it has like a calming fragrance on it that's maybe a bit irritating for customers that are not aware of this. And and on top, we give information about what the users might not have the best sleep for the first 1, 2, maybe even 3 nights, because the body has to get used to this new pillow, but then later on they will recognize the difference. And we were super surprised with the results, because over 65% of the customers are till today engaging with this flow. So why is that the case? Because it's super relevant information at the perfect time. When you buy products, you're probably the same as for me, sitting at home and waiting for the product, are super hyped and are very open to receiving informations about this. And through sending then these automation, we reduce the amount of service questions, because we answered questions before they appear, which is very cool. But also we made the product experience so much better, because it is totally clear how to use the product. There's no bad surprises. And obviously this leads then to a higher satisfaction rate, which leads then to higher returning customer rate. And what's very cool, it's super easy to set up. So the whole automation costs about 1, maybe 2 hours of effort, but from there on, you have to pay nothing if you make the right setup, so you don't open a new conversation window, and the unboxing experience for the product is so much better on the product experience. So it's totally worth it. And I'm a very big believer that this is or this can be realized for basically every product and every brand. So because of the success, we later on implemented for a skincare brand, where we send after the purchase of the product explanation exactly what the ingredients are and how they work of this special product and how the product should be used. Or for example, of a food brand, we then later on send recipe ideas that the user can directly click through in WhatsApp with what ingredients this food has and so on. And as you can see, there are basically no limits. At least we found the limits not till today, and it's super worth it to implement these type of automations.
That's interesting, though, to hear how you implemented.
Sorry, what?
It's super interesting to hear how you implemented also for other brands.
Yeah, totally. So we start to implement it by every customer basically now, because it's so successful and so well received from the users. And last one of these 3 tips is the topic of smart sending, because of course we can't talk about relevant touch points and can't talk about smart sending strategies, not just because it's super efficient and cost efficient to orchestrate email and WhatsApp communication, but also it's super well received from the users to not get the same message over different channels. So it's always a goal from Blackroll and us as well to have a really smart approach on this one. And in the case of Blackroll, we try to start actually every automation inside of Klaviyo, just so we have a good organization of the different automations and can really easily organize all of these. And yeah, only if a user is then unable to actually receive email automations, for example, or does not respond to them, we then later on send the WhatsApp message. And through this way, a user does not receive the same message via different channels, and we are super cost efficient on top. And we can generate, or we can mostly guarantee that every euro of revenue is generated basically on top. As you can see, we often talk about clean WhatsApp revenue. What we mean with this is that the euros not are stolen from, for example, email marketing, and are just generated because we are using WhatsApp. So super cool to be so aware that this on top revenue is truly via WhatsApp generated. And as you can see here, we have an example from Blackroll where we set up an post-purchase upsell series. So the users that bought the pillow later on receive a discount code for the base. And when they don't react to this newsletter via email or can't be reached via email, we then send it out via WhatsApp. And through this automation that was also a setup of like an hour of effort, we create tens of thousands of additional revenue just via WhatsApp. So super easy to set up, but super interesting and super helpful. So I hope these are 3 tips that you can start applying tomorrow to be more relevant. Yes, and the conclusion, to quickly summarize once again, all we talk about is creating experiences that are so good that customers will have to fall in love with your brand. And to be honest, the sentence was stolen from Blackroll, but I think it's totally true. In my words, or for our agency, we would rather say experiences outsells discounts, to be more in like a performance marketing language. But what we want to say is to try to find ways to make the customer journey better. So this is actually one of the first questions we ask when we talk to brands. Hey, what exactly does your customer journey look like? And how can we improve the journey through the possibilities that WhatsApp offers us? So we talked about high opening rate, friendly environment, easy interaction, collecting data. So all these are, I think, USPs from WhatsApp that probably your other marketing channels don't have. And then we can think about how we can make the customer journey even better through using these possibilities that WhatsApp gives us. And as I said, it does not end with the campaign, and you can do so much more. So think about it, and I think you will pretty soon have some cool ideas.
I 100% agree with you, Thomas. And also that's why we both want to share with you some hands-on tips for boosting customer retention. So here are like 6 tips which you can take along with you to think about what you want to do after the Black Friday, Cyber Monday season. So these actionable strategies are kind of designed to keep your customers, like Thomas said, very engaged and to come back to you and your experience that you're generating. And it ensures that the efforts that you had for Black Week or Black Month or Black Weekend or however you wanted to call it have a long-lasting impact. So we have here, and we already tackled all of those, the post-purchase engagement, which is really crucial to continue the customer journey after the purchase. Then we have the targeted reminders, like not everybody buys on the first time, but for those who showed interest, like Thomas said, by clicking on the campaign, but maybe not buying or didn't complete the purchase, you can follow up and have like exclusive offers or deals or give them a certain service moment, which they really enjoy. Then we have the team alignment, which is also, I think, very crucial and doesn't only include your internal team, but also if you work with an agency or especially now with Chatmarks or also with us as Charles, it's essential to keep like customers aligned, to inform them about current campaigns or your service team and all of the ones you're working with, and brief them on the messaging that's coming along, also to ensure that you have a consistent communication across all your channels. Then we have the escalation strategy. So honestly, Thomas will hopefully say yes to that too. Sometimes campaigns may not perform as planned.
Never. Our campaigns always perform. No, jokes aside.
So I think we both agree on like having an escalation strategy allows us to like quickly adjust. Escalation sounds super wild, but sometimes it really isn't that great, and you need to be flexible and adapt at one point to ensure that you can respond effectively. And then there's also leveraging data. So as I talked about a lot, all the insights we gathered, especially during Black season, we can use to maximize our strategy for Christmas, for example, or the New Year's. So create personalized offers that feel like fresh and relevant. And then lastly, finally, the last thing, like honestly, stay relaxed. I know this is a super busy season and not every campaign may go exactly as planned, or it will, which I really hope for each and every one of you. But it's normal that you need to tweak and twist some elements and be once again very flexible to adjust to have a successful retention strategy. And that also includes A/B testing at one point to really see what works best for you. So yeah, by focusing on all of these 6 steps, you can really build meaningful and long-lasting connections with all of your customers, the new ones and the already retained ones beyond Black Week. What we have now is a little QR code for you to scan and see how a WhatsApp journey could look like for you. And we also have some questions. Lena was asking, first of all, great webinar. Thank you. Also, thank you to Thomas. Could you tell us something about cross-selling? So if a customer buys, for example, a pillow, that's your question, Thomas, do you plan on any campaigns to sell other products as well? I think we kind of tackled it, but
yeah, exactly. It was like the third tip. So we using recurring campaigns a lot of the time. So when we say, hey, for example, users that bought the pillow 30 days from now, 30 days ago, we then send them like the fitting product for it. So Blackroll has a very cool world of product. They fit very well together. And if you start with the pillow, later on you, for example, are interested in the blanket, and then at the end are interested in the base, which is like a mattress. And so they stack very good together, the product. And of course, that's one thing that we do. I would recommend to make it more in like real drops. We have from the email marketing like strip tactic, where we send like a newsletter every week or something, like, for example, and then try to educate the user to this new product and to this upsell. But in terms of WhatsApp, we don't want to reach out this often to the user. And when we reach out, having on one hand a super interesting offer, for example, with a discount code or something like this, or like a bunch of informations that he then can click on by himself or by herself. So that you then all the information that you might put in different emails, then collect to one reach out. So because we are disturbing actually the user when we reach out to them in their day-to-day life, because WhatsApp is like this push notification directly on the screen of the user. And then we need to reach out with very relevant content. And through like an automation where we let the user click through the information, we can guarantee that he only gets the information that he is interested in. And then he can click through the information by himself. And then at the end, you can say, hey, this is the perfect fitting product. And I'm the very big fan of connecting this with, for example, like a configurator as well. Or again, for example, for a skincare brand, we created like a small test where the user can find out which skin type there are, if they have normal skin or oily skin or something like this. And then later on, we can present the perfect products for the people. And this is, again, a super cool win-win situation, because for me as a customer, it's super interesting to see what actually my skin type is, and then directly getting the right products in form of this small automation is super helpful. So this is a cool case how you can maybe upsell a user that already bought once and should buy another time.
Well, we always want to have them buy another time,
Right.
but then these are some like great examples. I think they really answer the question. So maybe someone also asked, in close relation to that, how do I set up a post-purchase flow like you showed by myself? But I think even though maybe chat marks won't be by your side, if you are with us at Charles, you have us, especially for the first few weeks, to really get to know the product, and we'll, as success managers, will ensure that everything is set up properly. So this is how you could get started. How many subscribers do I need to start segmenting? Interesting question.
Yeah, I take over this question. Sorry to interrupt. It's a good question, I think, and a question we get answered or asked a lot. So I don't think there's really a magic number from where you should start segmenting, because it's always about relevant content and relevant messaging. But normally we reach out to most of the users when the customer is under 5,000 subscribers, and then later on really starts to make a difference when you start to filter the segments and so on. But even before that, you can already segment your audience when you have smaller audience. Like I said, for example, this rule of, hey, only reach out to people that have at least clicked on your messages in the past is super helpful. From any subscriber base starting. So I think there's not like this magic rule, this magic number, but it's always interesting and relevant. And as your subscriber base grows, basically segmenting can always get more focused, more niche and be more relevant.
Yeah, I think as well, close to this as well, I feel like it depends on your business and how your subscribers are reacting to you. So we have also a lot of clients, maybe you, Thomas, to have two, who have just such a strong community, which spreads across all platforms, not only WhatsApp, but you see it on social media and you see it in email. They react to nearly anything, just because they're so excited about the business. So I feel like if you have such an engaged audience, and you will feel it very strongly even in the first few weeks when you gather new leads, then it's also fine to segment even earlier on, because you know there's like a certain interest behind it.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. Then also someone asked, how many questions can I ask in the welcome series? I would say even up to 4 are possible, depending on how strong your community is.
Yeah, I would maybe say 3 questions.
Okay.
It's our best case. But yeah, basically we start with a setup that we ask 2 questions around the user and try to ask questions that separate the user in different target groups that you have in mind. So basically all of your brands probably have different personas that you reach out to. And then if you ask the right questions, you can pretty early say, hey, this new customer is probably one of these personas. And that's the goal that we try to reach with the questions. And 2 questions mostly fits for that. And then the 3rd question is basically asking for the email address, because you have to keep that in mind, even though when you have an integration in your email system right now, it's from the day one on very important, in my opinion, to gain the email address for later integrations and so on. So yeah, that's the setup that we have most of the times for our customers.
I would 100% agree with you. And with that, I think it's time to wrap up the event. Thank you so much, Thomas, for sharing your insights with so much detail and also passion, and kind of putting up Blackroll, or putting up for Blackroll not coming. But yeah, it was so nice to have you here. And then also thank you for everyone to engage with us in the chat, play the game, and be with us in general.